Alright, sorry the updates haven't been so catchy, but I showed you the subfloor in another video. I've got bracing underneath there. Well, here we go. I now have the subfloor roughed in. I got this. I added blocking all over the place to just make sure everything's shored up. There. There's blocking here. There's more blocking over here. There's more blocking back here. There's more blocking over there. So basically I just blocked everywhere, which means these boards basically just to add extra support. I've got a sistered board that runs all the way around there that this is going to set on top of. I actually turned this one sideways. I have another one here that's vertical, and I turned this one sideways just so, because this board right here, I don't know why, but that's a 2x4 up against a 2x6. And so I don't know why they did that, but I filled that space in too, so that they didn't have that big gap there. So it's just all as supported as I can. I don't want to pull up the subfloor, even though I haven't glued it all down yet, but I'll just show you. I have now changed out my plumbing here, and I talked to a plumber. He said this is mostly okay. It's not the perfect method, but what I did was, oh good, you can't see that. So I ran what's called a sanitary tee there, and so the line comes out of the sink, will go down, and basically there's almost no way for water to go over there. And so the sanitary tee will let it go down into a long sweep 90. There's a long sweep 90 under here, all brand new Schedule 40 into there, and then it goes into the back of the existing toilet flange. I then cut the old ABS and I put a new fitting on there. Obviously this is not the final piece that I'm gonna put in, but I can show you there. So then I'll cut this down to size. I've got my new toilet flange, which has the nice metal ring. You can see here, I screwed through so that I have my my PEX stepped up for hot and cold water. The new vanity will sit there. And then this is the rest of that vent. So it's gonna go up, I'm not done with it yet. I have to get over to here, but I wanna cut out that section of the ceiling first. And just, I've gotta get all the last of this like junk that's on the walls and stuff so that my new sheetrock will actually sit flush. I'm waiting to pull the light fixture out because, you know, I need light. And then my next thing is I have to cut this, and then these water lines I have to move to go inside the wall, and I have to do the same thing with this electrical line. So I have to find some way to do that. I'm actually not entirely sure how I'm going to do that electrical line. It comes from here, goes through here. They brought it out, but the new shower is gonna sit flush up against that wall, so I cannot have an electrical line there. I've got a new water control thing because there's no tub. It's just gonna be a shower. I've got all new PEX. I've got all new fittings up there, all new shower controls, shower head, everything. But my next step will be to get this. I'm gonna go up, over, and then up. I've got to add some extra 2x4 blocking and stuff to make sure that I am where I'm supposed to be. For anybody that's asking, this black ABS, you have to use, don't fall into the basement while you're making a video. You have to use this, and definitely don't drop it. Okay, that was close. Here we go. So you have to use this stuff anytime you are going from ABS to PVC. You cannot just use the purple primer and then the clear glue whenever you are going from black ABS to Schedule 40. I have another long sweep 90 that's gonna, or actually it's gonna be I think a long sweep 90. It's gonna go here, come up. I have to measure off of there to make sure that I have the shower pan ready, but this is good. So what I talked to the plumber about is, according to, there's two different plumbing codes. There's UBS and IPS. So according to the UBS, I'm not supposed to have my vent come all the way over here and through the toilet flange. The IPS allows it, but I actually don't have any plumbing codes where I live, so I'm going to do it this way. If you're under a specific code, you'll have to be careful about that. These big gaps here, you'll see they're not great, but I have something called foam backer rod. Here you go, this stuff right here. So I'm gonna take this foam backer rod, I will cram it into these crevices, and then I will fill it with a sealant, and then I'll fill sealant all the way around the edge. And then I'm actually going to put yet another piece of subfloor on top of all this to give me like basically perfect encapsulation. So watch and I'll keep you taken along. Oh man, all right. Yeah, subfloor down. We are feeling really solid, really good blocking everywhere. See, I got the plumbing roughed in. That's for the sink, hot and cold. This is for the toilet. Obviously, I'll cut that off before we're done. This is for the shower. Actually, I had a cap for that one, so I didn't have to do my duct tape method like I did for the vent and then the other drain there to keep those sewer gas smells out. I got the shower roughed in, so I'll have to attach this, get my Moen posi temp in there. I still have to deal with this wire. It's going there. Well, obviously it can't go there, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna deal with that yet, but we are making progress. It is very, very good to be walking on an actual subfloor. I've got foam backer rod to go into here, and then I'm gonna shoot some spray foam all the way around the edges, just to make sure that I've got a really good seal everywhere, and I don't want any, air coming up from downstairs. So, making some progress. And here is the all-new subfloor, everything from below. You can see where I've added the blocking in. Come over here. I've got more blocking. That white paint is when we did the mold abatement. I've got the new shower piece under there. That's the bottom side of the water lines. Again, you can see all the extra bracing I added. Shot spray foam around the toilet supply line. There's the all new supply line. You can see that green glue means I use the correct stuff to go from black ABS to white. Same thing over here. Got the shower P-trap in to bring it down below grade. And if you can see up in there, the spray foam coming through. We are coming together. All beautiful, beautiful subfloor. All right, we've got spray foam in the cavities, spray foam around. I had to do a second coat, so I'm gonna have to cut the edge there. So I spray foamed this and then cut it up. You can see I haven't got those pieces cut back yet. Spray foamed around the wires. I think I just dropped a little trash in there. Need to clean that out. So yeah, spray foam really well around there. Getting ready to finish up that vent stack. But again, you can see I did spray foam around the lines coming up. I just added a little bit at the base. This will be batt insulation, but we are getting there. I am doing another layer of subfloor down here, which will bring me up and completely even with that existing subfloor. I couldn't cut this out because of the air register. So this was my solution. I'm gonna put the really thin stuff on top of this. And then in addition to that, I am also going to put yet another layer of this 1/4 inch, and I'm gonna try to do it like one piece over the entire thing. Because I've got a gap here, which I spray foamed it shut, but still, if I could have, I'm gonna kind of piecemeal this first layer to bring me up to grade essentially. So there'll be one piece there, and then hopefully one kind of big piece that covers all of this. And then I wanna do a big piece, basically the entire size of the room, and just cut out where the air register goes, because this, it feels a whole lot more solid now. So these little bitty metal things that are stabbing up, these are actually angle brackets, because this air register comes all the way over, actually, to where this line is, I think. Anyway, it's right underneath here. So I added blocking like right here, but that air register comes over here, and so I didn't have a way to tie in. So I added these angle brackets, screwed them in, and then that's supporting this. Added some shims in there to add even more support. But when I bring this up to grade, and then I do that one big one over everything, that will let me screw there and screw there, which will give me hopefully a really good strong base. And then even though it feels fantastic now, it was a little spongy before I added those angle brackets, and it'll be okay because I'm gonna have a transition piece here, so it'll be a tiny step up, but it'll be almost completely imperceptible. So making great progress. We're getting there. Here is subfloor layer 2. So there's our main subfloor underneath there, and then I put this super thin 1/4 inch stuff, and that was in an effort to bring this up to here. Now, as I've mentioned before, the duct, this is an actual air duct, it goes all the way over to pretty much here. And so when I cut out the subfloor, I got a little too aggressive, I cut it too far back. And so what I did is I put these L brackets in here, but what I'm getting ready to do is cut the holes so I can put a full 4-foot sheet, and it'll be 90.5 inches to there, all the way over this, and then that way I'll screw to here, and then that will completely support this all the way across. So that's 3 layers of subfloor, which is a little excessive, but at least I know I'll have total encapsulation. So let me show you that now. All right, now 1/4 inch subfloor is down. Only had the one 4x8 sheet. I gotta go get another one, so I'll have to fill in that strip over there. But now this part right here is rock solid. Feels really good. With the layers of subfloor, I used my aluminum tape. I actually did a layer under this to the first floor and then another one to this floor as well. So hopefully it's good and encapsulated. Got all my holes drilled. So one more strip over there and we can actually start putting in the extra. I've got to do vertical studs for the shower back, and then I've got to do a vertical stud here, and then I've got to do some blocking on the lower level to do the shower pan.